Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning.
And I'm Trinity French.
And we are your business coaches at Wired to Change.
With the number 2.
We are here to help you grow your business to get it to the level you want so you can enjoy the life of a small business owner. Tough enjoyment these days, Trinity. We're right in the middle, we think. We're mid-April-ish, coronavirus, COVID-19. Most of us have been home for probably at least 3 weeks by now, 3.5. And we're starting to see some numbers on small business success, small business staying alive, just what the state of small businesses are.
Yes, it is. I am really trying hard with our clients and our business associates to keep everybody in a positive frame of mind and not have them get too caught up in the fear mongering that can happen. But today's episode is about facing the brutal facts. And the brutal facts is that before this virus, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, hit, 80% of businesses failed by their 5th year. Now what we're seeing is they are predicting that 21% of businesses are going to be out of business within the first 30 days, which we're creeping up on right now.
We're about there, aren't we?
We're about there, so we'll be able to see if that prediction comes true or not. And we're looking at nationwide a 50% closure rate. So only 50% of the businesses that are open right now actually coming back and being running at full speed. So that is going to be a huge hit for some people who are running businesses currently. And it's also going to be a big opportunity for other businesses. So in our next episode, we're actually going to be talking about what's going to come out of the coronavirus. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a super fun conversation about what some people are doing creatively. And then the episode after that, we're going to talk about all the ways virtually that you can do it. But today, we're going to discuss why small businesses fail and why the 20% that have made it long term, what set them apart, what was the great differentiator, because those are the things that absolutely everyone should be doing now.
Even with the stimulus money that is coming for small businesses, cover payroll, loans through the SBA.
Yeah, when you look at that, the payroll protection plan or whatever the heck it's called, it covers payroll, but you only have 25% of that money left to go towards most of your overhead, and most people's overhead is not in their employees. So that's why we're seeing a huge proportion of businesses that are vacating their office spaces, that are, cutting off their internet, switching everyone to working from home and trying to just, this was a conversation that we had last week at the happy hour that we went to online. Yes. We were all talking about what are we doing to shave off cost and stop bleeding money during this crisis. If you think about it, a lot of these companies are getting used to working from home and having less overhead. So I'm predicting, from putting my real estate hat on, that we are going to be seeing some really good deals popping up in the commercial real estate market in the next 6 to 24 months.
Oh, yeah. What's the effect on residential real estate?
So far in the Triangle, we have seen a little bit of a downturn in the total number of buyers and sellers that are out in the marketplace compared to where we were last year. I am super, super fortunate that I work by referral. So during any time of crisis or historically when markets have shifted, there are going to be a lot of real estate agents that leave the business, because they just don't have the momentum or their practice built up enough or the wherewithal to just stick it out and get out there and do the things that have to be done, that they're going to be out of the business.
This goes back to an episode we had a while back, one of our first ones, but we talk about this a lot, is your sales pipeline. And now is the time where you needed that sales pipeline, because that's going to dwindle in itself, but it will leave you something. The services that provide, the companies that provide services to these homes for sale, the carpet cleaners, the home inspectors, people like that, we're hearing that obviously their work is slowing.
Yep.
And we have a carpet cleaner that is now just doing empty houses because people don't want them to come in. And everybody needs to start looking at, all right, if I can only go into half the houses, what else can I do? What other service can I provide?
Yep.
And it could be air quality. It could be air duct cleaning. It could be, you can steam the floors.
Right.
Along with the carpet. And so we're starting to see more and more of those scenarios coming up. And the creative ones, two things will get you through. One, creativity. Like, oh, you know what? Let's take a look at that. And two is, can you bankroll yourself through this?
Yeah. So why did 80% of businesses fail? And we're talking about businesses that are in their fifth year and beyond. And what is really just baffling to me is some of the reasons that businesses fail is just their inability to hang on. With, they don't see that 5 years or 4 years or whatever worth of work that they've put in, the momentum that they've been building, that they're just about to get over that hump, and they stop just a little too soon. It's like when you're driving a car up a hill, and if you brake too close to the top, you're not going to make it over the top. That's when you're getting close to the top, that's when you have to hit the gas and really hump it to get over it. So giving up too soon, I've seen it in real estate. I've seen it with some of my financial advisor clients. I've seen it in the SEO, internet, web world, that you just have to make sure that you're working harder and smarter than your competition and that you don't give up too soon.
So the application to today out of that is partnerships. And we saw that on our BNI meeting.
Business Networking International.
Is our carpet cleaner and our new commercial cleaner are partnering up so they can help each other. If you're the carpet cleaner and 100% of your business is a normal day, and now you're down to 40% because of what we're all going through with coronavirus and what businesses aren't doing and what homeowners don't want you to do, who can you partner with to grab another 15% of referrals from them that they hear about? So again, you got to be creative. You got to find partners because we're all going through this together. If there's a logical referral partner in your world, if you've never gone out, and we've talked about networking before, if you've never gone out and done it, now you have to go do it, whether you're comfortable doing it or not.
Yes. And this topic, talking about why businesses fail and why they succeed, it just is, there's no more time that this is so pertinent than right now. I would say the number one reason, and I think you already mentioned this episode, that reason that businesses fail is they purely just run out of money. They just cannot keep the doors on, the lights on anymore. The doors open. Yeah. My goodness, I need an afternoon snack. It's snack time,
the doors
people.
On and the lights open.
Yeah.
You still haven't eaten? We talked 2 hours ago. What do you mean you haven't eaten?
I did. Scott brought me lunch.
Oh,
Thank
I did
you,
see
baby.
that. Yeah,
Scott brought me lunch, but that was the only thing that I'd eaten so far today, so I'm still a little bit in a calorie deficit.
Okay.
And I didn't have as much coffee.
There you go. So talking money, once this is over, if you can't start now, start when this is over, identifying how much money per week you can start putting aside.
You mean we're recommending that people save money? What?
If you never realize this could happen, this is sometimes we need a 2x4 to the forehead. This is it for small business owners. If you can make it through this, and we hope you do, this is the reason to start 3%, 5%, 8%, put it aside somewhere you can't touch it for the next one of these.
Yeah, because it's just like when I was training financial advisors and we would tell our clients, you need a 6-month rainy day fund because you never know when you might lose your job. Yep. Something could happen. You could get sick, whatever. But businesses often overlook this crucial element of their planning, which is that they also need a 6-month cushion because if something does happen that affects your industry, which we're all feeling right now, having that 6-month cushion to be able to cover your utilities, your payroll, your rent, your mortgage, whatever it is what's going to differentiate some of the businesses that make it through versus the ones that have to close their doors.
And our small businesses are our life. So if that business goes under, your life's changed. Because usually there's not a second income. And if there is, it may not be as big as yours. But you have to take advantage of this. And one of the things that we do not recommend debt. However, if your books are clean and you're taking care of everything, you can go to your bank and just get a line of credit that does nothing but sit there. You don't ever have to touch it, but you know it's there. That's part of your 6-month plan, rainy day. How are the ways I can get through this next time? Because if we have read every election year, be it the presidential election or the off year, something happens. 2018, 2016, we had SARS, we had all kinds of different things. I don't know if it keeps getting worse, but there's always something coming. You just never know. So 6 months probably would get you through this.
For those of you that are out there listening and saying, I have my 6-month stash, kudos to you. Give yourself a big old pat on the back because you were doing what everyone else should have been doing while the getting was good.
And it's too late to start now.
It is. So, so I'd say the number one thing is that people run out of money. Right now, there's just so many different opinions on what's happening with these government programs that are supposed to be the bridge to get us over this gap. I've been seeing some people saying, yeah, I applied for it. The money's already in my checking account, or others that, like me, I haven't filed my taxes yet for last year. So I can't do anything. My hands are tied, which really stinks. So my accountant's been calling me almost every day saying, all right, we need to get on this so we can apply for some of these programs. Fortunately, I'd saved enough money that it's not something that I had already planned my payroll based on having a slower season. So I do have that 6-month or so cushion built in, but once that's gone, if things don't pick back up, then it's going to be a different story.
Your industry is slowed down, not stopped. So the good news is there's still something there. The bad news is where you would have sold a house in a month, it may take 2.5 now.
Nah, I sold a house last night and coming soon.
I should have bragged for you, yes. If 3 days is your average time on the market, that's going to change. It probably already has, right?
No.
Oh, really?
No, I'm selling houses faster than ever because there's still buyers out there that have to buy and there's people that have to move. Even though the total number of buyers and sellers has diminished, the market is still just cranking right now, which is fantastic. I got 4 new buyer referrals last week.
In the shell game locally, when I'm wanting to sell my house, but I can't buy that one because they're slow to find the house they want to sell the house to me that I want. Mm-hmm. Is that happening yet?
So typically we're helping people find the house they're going to buy first, and then we put their house on the market because homes are moving so quickly.
Okay.
So the hardest part is making sure that we find that first house. Otherwise, they have to rent until they find their next house.
And that's a whole pain in the...
It is. But some people prefer that. And
Yep.
they, I had a client who was living in a rental for quite a while, and she just was building a new house, and that's how she felt she wanted to do it. And hey, who am I to judge anybody else?
You're there for her. That's the way she wanted to do that.
Yes. So, Coach Mike, which sidebar right here. If only you could see Coach Mike with his new bald head. He did one of the funniest things ever, which he went on. Were you on Facebook Live?
No, we didn't do it live. I just posted
He
what we were
recorded
done.
it. He recorded a video of him and Becky shaving his head. And absolutely hilarious. The comments that you got on that post were just
They were
but
deserved,
you know what?
yeah.
Your hair must grow so fast.
It's 8 days. So here's how all this happened. For years, I'm 58. I'll be 59 next month. And for years, I've wondered if my head was round.
You've got a really nice head.
For the day that I do lose my hair.
Right.
And my wife said, we're going to be home for a month. Now's the time to shave it because it'll go back. It will grow back before you have to go out again. I thought, okay, what the heck? So Monday, the last Monday in March, Monday night, we shaved my head. And I was very pleased to see how round it was. It's a lot closer to a basketball than a church steeple, and that was my big concern. So what Trinity's talking about, this is only 8 days of growth. And if I could stop it right here, I'm good to go forever.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
I did, though, the first couple of days I sat in the house with no hair on my head. I could tell every time the AC or the heat kicked on. It was pretty funny. But I enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'm liking it because I can wake up and go now.
Feels a little different when you're washing your head.
It's done, yeah. Now instead of a dime size or a penny size, now it's used like the head of a pin. And
Wow.
of a needle, and just do that, and that's all. But now
Man,
I can
us
wake up and go
girls,
now,
I'm just sitting here thinking I have so much hair, and I just
You do.
it's like all over the place all the time. When you posted that video, I had this split second that was like, ooh, I'm gonna just one up him and shave my head too.
I'd have paid for
and
that.
then I
Yeah.
rethought
You
things
don't wanna do
through
that,
and
no.
decided that would be bad.
At least you decided to do that after Scott said I do, and not before he said I do.
Yes, no doubt. I just do not believe that I have a round head under here. I think it's probably
I didn't either, but you
pretty
see
lumpy.
mine, yeah.
Yeah, you've
But-
got a really good
Thank you.
shaped head.
This is what boredom does for people of coronavirus. I'm sure I'm not the only one to shave their head, and others are letting their hair grow because there's no one to cut their hair because their hairstylist had to close.
One of my friends, Mike Bird, who runs a really cool Facebook group called ATB, All the Best. There's a bunch of social groups, dating groups, reading groups, anything that you can think of that you would want to be a part of in the triangle. He started this group. Well, he also posted a live video of himself going cue ball. And so I know that it's out there. People are getting a little stir crazy. It had been about 6 weeks since he'd had his haircut. And right now, you can't go out and get your hair cut. So what are the other options?
I got an email. So we're probably about, by the time this comes out, so we tape this about 5 days before. I got an email from Scott Bloomer with Color World Painting. He said, man, is your hair about a half inch now? And I got Becky to get the ruler. We measured it. It was 1/8 of an inch. And I sent it back to him, said, it's 1/8 of an inch. Are you thinking about shaving yours? And 2 days later, emailed me back. He goes, man, that's too short. I don't want to go that short. I said, it'll grow back. I said, where else are you going to go? Just shave your head, man.
Oh, that's
Yep.
so funny.
So,
Well, I think it looks good.
Thanks.
I do wish that my amazing husband, because he's going to listen to this, because he listens to every episode.
tell him to shave his head.
No,
No?
I want him to shave his freaking beard.
Oh, yeah.
And I've noticed a huge uptick in all these people growing Corona beards because they're home.
Oh, yeah.
My accountant, I saw him on video conference today, growing a beard. My husband, growing a beard. And
Yeah,
I
Ryan's beard. That's
absolutely just, it drives me crazy. One, because it's half white, half some other color.
Yeah.
And it grows in, and he's got a really good mustache. Like, he can grow a good mustache, but that's where it ends. And the whole thing kind of looks a little scraggly to me, and the whole mountain man look is just not my cup of tea.
Tell him to shave the beard and tweak the mustache so it's like an 80s porn stash for a week. See what that looks like, and then tweak that. Just, have some fun with
Oh,
it. Yeah.
gosh. Well,
Or no, shave the beard on the side, keep the goatee.
Oh,
try
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then shave that, play with the money. Yeah, he's not going anywhere for another 3 weeks at least.
we hang out in our garage a lot because
Yeah.
we have a little area set up out there because we don't have a screened-in back porch. And we feel like rednecks because we're the only people in our neighborhood that hang out in our garage. So if he grew a goatee or shaved it into a goatee, we would totally look like rednecks.
Yeah. Perfect.
Anyways, back to the
Yeah,
topic at hand.
back to reality, yeah.
Yes. The next reason why businesses fail that I have seen throughout all the history of coaching and working with small business owners and working with medium-sized businesses is you have to really evaluate your key employees. If you have an inadequate management team and staff, that can actually crush and kill your business. One, they're your most expensive payroll item that you have. So you really need to make sure that you're paying them for doing a good job and actually helping to grow your business or your revenue, or I shouldn't even say revenue. They should be able to be growing your profits and your revenue. But having a piss poor team or keeping a hold of someone just because they've been with you for a long time. I mean, I've seen all sorts of reasons why people feel uncomfortable letting go of a key employee.
And in today's world, the application of that is who you keeping. If you got 5, you can only keep 2. Who are you keeping and why? Are they family? Are they your best producers? Are they your lowest paid? Why are you keeping them? And what's your long game for the 2 that you keep?
Yeah. And as you're growing your business, eventually you as the business owner are not the person that is actually running the day-to-day operations. You have some sort of manager or person that you've hired, maybe that's running your office and running your books, and they're the point person, all that. And you need to make sure that you are not delegating to them through abdication, because that's definitely something that I've seen happen over and over again, is that somebody hires an office manager and before they know it, they find out that that office manager has been running all the invoices wrong or not billing people or not following up on billing. And then, they have a bunch of outstanding collections and just all sorts of shit that they get themselves into. So making sure that you have a really strong second in command management team is vitally important. And the thing that really stinks right now is that people are so afraid to lay somebody off because of the state of the economy. But now, if you do need to make those decisions, it's the time to make the hard choices and really look at who you have on your team.
Yep. The next one, and you preach this from day one, are what processes do you have in place? Because it works in the good times and probably save your ass in the bad times.
Amen. Amen. You have to have a really good infrastructure for your business. You also need to have one of my favorite things, which is a very good business plan, because no plan survives contact with the enemy. Your plan is constantly changing. You need to have a strong business plan, because that's going to be the backbone of what gets you through something like this crisis that we're in today. Another thing that I have seen, I've had clients that have come to me a little too late because they were afraid to seek help from other experts. So for us, I don't know if I would call myself an expert per se, but I have a lot of years of learning and training on business coaching, business training, working with small business owner, coaching, life coaching. So I would consider myself quasi-expert, getting up there in expert years, And there is nothing to be ashamed of to reach out for help from somebody that that might know a little bit more or be able to help you to dig inside yourself and do those things that are a little hard.
Yep. And in the application today of that is, let's say you are a landscaper or a window washer. Let's do the carpet cleaner and the landscaper. And you cover the south part of your town. And you don't really go to the north part of your town because it's a long way there. So go find somebody in the north part of the town that doesn't want to come to the south part of town. So you're driving less. So you're spending less on gas, your time is more efficient, and you're keeping the doors open. You need to plan for situations like that and just be smart about that. Go find somebody, go partner with somebody, go talk to somebody, find a way to keep the doors open.
We've also seen businesses that don't pivot quickly enough with their marketing initiatives, or they have poor or unsuccessful marketing initiatives. Marketing is just the tip of the iceberg. You need to have a strong marketing and a strong sales department. If either one of those are weak, because they feed into each other, and then you need to have strong procurement. So let's just throw all three out there on the table. If any one of those are weak, you're gonna have a hard time staying in business long term.
You have to find out today what else your customers need, so you can help them and you can build that loyalty you have with them and they have with you. You may not be in the top 7 things you offer, but you can do it and they need it. So ask them, what else can we help you with?
Yes. Amen again.
All right. So let's talk about the 20% that do make it.
Oh, Mike. But you know what? I want to help improve this number. One of my personal missions in life is to help more small businesses make it over that 5-year mark and beyond, because I feel like we have enough opportunity available within our marketplace for more businesses to make it. If only sometimes failing in business is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at
because you might fail, and then that thing that you learned from that business failure is the thing that actually helps your next business to succeed, as long as you have the wherewithal to pull yourself back up and get back into the game.
To quote you, I bought one of those learning experiences years ago.
Yes, you did.
I did. And you know what? I'm still here today. So
you're still here.
It can happen, yes.
I mean, it definitely took you out to the wash.
Yeah, I learned a bunch of red flags I went through, but I'm here, so everything's good.
But the 20% that make it, they have a lot of things in common. They have a really good business plan. They're very realistic about how much time and work it takes to be successful. Think about how much time and effort we put into our coaching business.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. You have to be able to avoid burnout, because it's very easy for small business owners, because we have so many things on our plates, to get burnout. And when you're struggling with these things, the smart business owners go and either find specialized training, or they find an expert, or they get a coach, or they go find a system that's going to help them. And I've just seen businesses that were kind of on the edge, and it just takes a little tinkering to just get them back on track. It doesn't take a whole lot. It might not be something you have to do forever, but it's just kind of a reboot to get you back on track.
Yes.
And I'd say one of the things that we've just really seen, I'm looking at our BNI group compared to other BNI groups around the triangle, and we get more visitors to our group. We're passing more referrals, and that's purely because we're outworking the other groups. And there is something to be said for working really hard and outworking your competition.
We have added 3 new members in the last 4 weeks while this coronavirus was going on and people were starting to work at home. Because people have visited our chapter, they've seen the value, and what better time to join a legitimate networking group than now, because our newest member, Edwin, today, he was inducted, and the only thing he got out of his induction was he's got 22 other salespeople now to help him grow his business, so that's what he got out of it. So are you looking ahead, and are you looking at relationships and connections, and are you planning properly?
And do they have one of your favorite words? Passion.
Oh, gosh, you gotta want to wake up in the morning and say, this is what I was born to do. And then you'll know that's the right business for you to own or operate.
And you really need to know whether or not you might have a passion for something that you have no skill for. And that's also a bad idea. Yeah. You need to have the passion and the skill set to make it work.
Would love to be a pro golfer. Not going to happen. But I do have a passion for helping people.
But now you have the perfect haircut for it.
I'm very, very aerodynamic. My walks are quicker in the morning, I've found, just cutting right through the wind. I'm breaking wind just so fast in the mornings when I walk.
Oh, so many good jokes about breaking wind right now that just are passing through my mind.
But let's talk about the planning real quick. Your family, it's you and your spouse and 2 kids. You got to plan for emergencies. If there's a fire, this. If there's a flood, this. If the alarm goes off, there's that. Do you have the same thing for your business? If something goes wrong, this. Yeah, I got an insurance guy. I got a flood guy. But when sales slow down, do you have a plan? Because you have a plan at home. If one of you loses your job or gets cut back to 50%, you probably have a little bit of an idea of what you're going to do. Do you have the same thing for your business? Chances are no.
But we're learning this as we go, what people have and what people don't have. We are super excited to be here to help out our fellow small business owners and sales professionals, and even those of you that listen that are like, you know what, I'm not even in business for myself. I just love hearing Trinity and Mike's voices every week. If you know anyone that is in a situation where they could use a good 30-minute chat with Mike or I, we are offering 30-minute free consultations to other small business owners to help just provide them with whatever sounding board they need. If they need ideas, we can consult with them a little bit. And we're doing that from now until the end of this virus, and maybe even a little bit beyond, because it's going to take a while for people to rebound.
Yep. We would welcome the opportunity to help you or anybody you know, and we know we can help you. We always have a couple of good ideas. You just never know. Sometimes it just takes the right question or the right sounding board partners to do that. We would love to help you, and we'll see you next time on our Wired to Change podcast.